Hey, what's up, my witches? I am shooting this on Pi Day, so happy Pi Day. And it is also the day after the total lunar eclipse that we got to see in Northeast Ohio because it has been clear and sunny and wonderful for a while now. And today, on March 14th, it is 75 degrees. My windows are open, the sun is shining, and I hope for you that you find some respite, that you find a point of joy, that you find an hour, a day, however much time that you can claim for yourself to be joyful in your life, as joyful as you can stand to be. But the reason I'm here today is for an unboxing, and stop me if you've heard this. I have a whole stack of decks to unbox, and I decided today to let the gaming dice decide. So I have 15 decks. I got a 20-sided die, and this is the deck that it picked. And by the way, I'm square because I'm trying my camera at its default settings, which is a higher def. We'll see how it goes. And that's on the heels of having to redo an update because I'll stop there. You've heard the long and sordid tale. Anyway, here's the deck, the Maybe Lenormand by Ryan Edward fortune-telling deck. And I go through spasms of Lenormand and, wanting to learn them. It's an incredible system. And I go through asking questions and then I go, no, we're going to leave things be for a while. So it's a off again on, but this is one of those expanded decks. 36 is the core of a Lenormand, and this one has 52, which is cool because the Lenormand also has, playing cards on them, and this has the whole playing card deck. Maybe Lenormand honors the Lenormand tradition with stylized illustrations that concisely convey the meaning at the heart of each card. In addition to the 36 core cards, designer Ryan Edward has created 16 additional cards to complete a 52-card pack following the heritage of fortune-telling cards based on playing card decks. The expanded deck affords precise readings with detailed answers. Includes a 72-page illustrated color guidebook with card meanings, keywords, and instructions. Cards measure 2.25 inches by 3.5. And the copyright is 2016 by U.S. Games. Oh, okay, interesting. So I saw this thing and I thought, I have Ostara Oracle comes to mind, but decks that have these loose cardboard pieces to put the cards together, I thought that was one of them, but it's not. It's part of the book. Okay, so Fortune Telling Guidebook by Ryan Edward. The Petit Lenormand is a 19th century 36-card oracle deck borrowing from German cartomancy as well as tea leaf and coffee ground symbol reading. Many prefer it over tarot and other oracle card systems for its practical and literal sense of the world around any person. The Grand Tableau can give an overview of your well-being or a detailed answer to a specific situation. Its readings are that of relationships, left, right, above, or below, where cards intersect or disperse, where they meet, near or far, if they are surrounded by negative or positive cards. The Lenormand is a pack of cards relying on elegance and particularity. The cards have a narrower focus and are read in an almost grammatical structure. While you could say reading tarot cards is like reading panels of a comic book to tell a story, the Lenormand is like a string of emoji to spell out a specific message. That's cool, particularly because there's this very old-fashioned look to everything, and that just yanked me into the present moment. And the string of emojis, that's perfect. Maybe Lenormand works to honor that Lenormand tradition. Its illustrations are designed to convey the meaning, folklore, and heart of each card's personality. While in most every way it follows the pattern of Lenormand from over 100 years ago, it does have one major difference. This deck has 52 cards rather than 36. Cards 37 through 52 borrow from a tangent lineage of fortune-telling decks to complete the common 52-card playing card pack, merging several divination traditions. So you have the Russian Roma deck is a Lenormand style deck. You've got the Madame, what's her name? Fortune telling deck. There's Russian ones. There's a couple more G word ones. Okay, so yes, different lineages and traditions. You can use the first 36 cards of this pack as any other traditional Lenormand. However, using the added cards, you are playing with something else, the maybe Lenormand. If you're new to Lenormand, work with the original 36 cards to get a sense of how they read. Once you're comfortable, add the rest of the pack. Enjoy. So, as always, when reading, the questions and context are vitally important to how you interpret the cards. So, there is no table of contents here. Just wanted to note that. Once you decide on a precise question, focus with intent and shuffle until you're ready to lay out the cards in a pre-designated arrangement. Okay, they're read in a specific order, reading the card to the right to modify or clarify the card to its left. For example, we have the letter for the first card. This could be a message or note. If the card to its right is the heart, we have a love letter. If it's near the birds card, the communication may be via Twitter or instant chatting. Okay. With the thundercloud, the meaning is very bad news. With the clover, it could be a short joke. Cards are rarely read alone. They are more useful in groupings of 2 or more. Look to the card above to see its intentions. See what cards are near or far. Determine where cards' lines cross and meet. Then it talks about the grand tableau, which we will not be doing today. 3-card strings. Lenormand cards are very rarely read with fewer than 3 cards. There's a Tarot Beyond Worlds? Trying to remember the name of the channel where she does little Lenormand tutorials, and she did a series of short videos with just 2 card combinations that were very helpful. All right. If I remember, I'll put the name below. There's a 5-card daily line. Center card. Center card speaks to the tone of the day, the transition from day to night. Let me see something here. When I do Lenormand readings, I generally do 2 lines of 5. You can do 2 lines of 7. You want to do odd number lines because then we can look at those central cards as like the central focus. Sometimes if you do a single line, the center card can mean something, the last card can mean something else, and then it is read, in the combination, but odd numbers are good. Okay. So we have examples there, and then we go into the card meanings. Following are descriptions for the 36 basic cards. This is how I best understand them and how they function, interact, and influence the cards around them. So here's another kind of, it's almost like a sticking point. With tarot decks, we learn the basics, we get other tarot decks, and we just keep adding and adding and adding, and different ones have different voices. Yes, the same with Lenormand, but since it is a cartomantic and a predictive tool, it really is helpful to stick to one method. And mine has been Raina George. I think it's Rana. I think she pronounces it Rana. Rana George, her Lenormand book. It's amazing. So, but I will stay within this deck for the context of this video. So for each card, we get a picture. We get the name of the card and one keyword. Then we get a breakdown, and then bottom is another list of keywords. So let's get past the first 36 and see what happens after that. Then we get card meanings 37 to 52. These additional 16 cards add a twist to the Lenormand tradition. They are based on a tangential lineage of similar decks, all claiming Mademoiselle Marie Anne Lenormand's ownership. While hardly any of these expanded decks are identical, they carry a very noticeable pattern, even ending in the same card, the safe. Since the 36-card Petit Lenormand, as it is officially called, is rooted in simplicity, there are those who say extra cards are bothersome. However, with the specificity afforded in the Lenormand cards, there are some very definitive but different angles one can take on the cards. These extra cards don't muddy up the meanings. Many help carry the secondary focus of other cards in the spread, so once you're using all 52, each card becomes more precise, and thus the readings provide more clarity. For instance, if I was only using 36 cards, the flowers could represent creativity as a secondary meaning to delight. However, when using the added cards, the rose brings the focus to the arts. Now when I look at card number 9, I know I'm focused on surprise because the other angle now rests with card 40. That's a really good explanation of that. And then we have the same thing. Let's see if there's anything at the end. I haven't looked up to see if there's a bio. There's the Très Grand Tableau using all 52. And there is no bio whatsoever. Nothing about the author at all. Nothing. Okay. Well, gosh, Ryan, I wish we could know something about you. Let's go look. And we have this little sectioned ribbon pull. Now, I do like it. I like it. They're small. That's what I like about Lenormands is they tend to be a smaller size deck. And this is the problem when you cut things in two sections. But this is the little cardboard thing. But it fits nicely and it's not flopping around. I actually have the decks where there's like 3 separate pieces of cardboard shit to mess around with. Okay. Get the snappy box out of the way. Let's go in. All right. So we have this very petite. Oh my God, there's cat hair everywhere, you guys. Okay. I like the eye on the back. We've got the US Games imprint there only on the bottom corner. And you know, Lenormands do not do reverses, so it doesn't matter whether they're directional or not. All right. So here we go with the rider and 9 of hearts. Here's the clover. The ship. You can definitely tell it's a ship, but I like that the images are very simple. So you don't do with Lenormand like you do with Tarot, where you'll say, okay, here's the, the Empress card, and it basically means material abundance, sensuality, and everything. But then you'll look and go, and what's sticking out to me is this little thing, and notice how she's looking this way, and all that kind of stuff. None of that applies with Lenormand. The symbol means what it means. So it's all up here. There's the house. The trees, forest. Is that what they call them? I think trees. A little abstract. Okay, so here. This is kind of difficult because it just looks like a mess of things. You know, it's like a very abstract thing. This is clouds. They call it thundercloud in this deck. It still does have, though, this is one of the times when the image makes a difference because there's the dark side and the light side. And so like in a grand tableau, the things on the light side mean one thing, the things on the dark side mean something else. There's the snake. So again, they're kind of abstract and you might have to get used to them a little bit. There's the coffin. Bouquet, scythe, the whip and broom. Usually it shows both, but there's just one. Birds, child, fox, and there's a chicken, the bear, stars. The crane or the stork, heron in some decks, dog, tower. Tower, totally different meaning than Tarot, where it means, things breaking down, chaos, disruption, all that. Tower here means success, longevity, something built up over time. Is this garden? Whoops. Garden. I don't have them all completely memorized. The park. So they call it the park. Sometimes it's called the garden. Talks about gathering, meeting with people, having a party. This is a mountain. It's sort of a melting mountain. Crossroads. Mice. Heart. Ring. Book. Letter. 28 is the man, 29 is the woman. This is lilies. So we want to contrast that with bouquet. So there are cards that are similar, as they were saying, but just within the 36. So you want to make sure that you know which one's bouquet and which one is lilies, because their meaning is totally different. Bouquet is like celebration, a gift, a surprise, woohoo, you know, that kind of thing. Lilies talks about lineage and legacy, and sometimes it's sexuality as well. The sun. Very lion-y looking. Moon. Key. Fish. Anchor. And cross. Okay, now here comes the new ones. Pig. What a perfect thing. I mean, can you imagine you saw the animals that went by in the first part of the deck, and you know, you see pig and it's like, well, of course pig needs to be there. Lion. My husband's cutting woods. We're doing a fire tonight. And that stink bug, fortunately, is on the outside of the screen, but I gave him a launching start. Here's handshake. Rose. This is, yeah, I'm going to go here so we can get the names right. So that first one was opulence. Pig was opulence. Lion is pride. Hands are accord. Rose is allure. This is Bacchus, revelry. I hope that's not too loud if you have headphones on. Then we have swords. Rapiers, duel. D-U-E-L. Cat, self-centered. Cats. Medal is honors. The sickbed is illness. The first time I saw this, I was thinking more of like a bassinet, you know, but it is about illness. Eye is sight. Flame is comfort. Flame, so see, I'd call that fireplace. Or just fire. I know in the Russian deck it's firewood. Okay, Cupid is impulse. Lightning is sudden. So there we have a little more of a tower. Broken mirror is shattered. Ooh. I think it might be Golden Reverie, Lenormand, the Ciro or Ciro Marchetti deck that has, does that have a mirror? I can't remember if it's broken. Okay, train is traverse. And then number 52, the last one is safe, and that's a symbol for cash. Okay, let's give this a blessing. And I want to say that I found out about this deck, and it was another one of the big ones I found out about, the deck of character from Denise, I believe her last name is Knight, from Spiritual Growth Tarot. And she's a wonderful reader, and she used this deck, and I got intrigued. So let's start with the Sage, eh? All the summer sounds outside. You know, hear vehicles going by. We hear motorcycles going by. It sounds like summer. By air and fire, may you be purified and charged. I'm going to do my, this is a pendant that my daughter bought me. It's very beautiful. I won't wait for it to go focusy. And by water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell, may the spirit awaken. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you so much. And I want to send gratitude to you Send gratitude to Ryan Edward and all who have contributed to the lineage of Lenormand, this incredible system. You know, there's a reason these systems are around for so long, because they're amazing. So I offer you fresh water. I offer you the fire of Azrael. And, you know, what makes an unboxing of a Lenormand deck more interesting is that you really do need a specific question. And even though they're small, they shuffle fine. They're a little stiff, but they'll loosen up. You really do need a specific question for Lenormand to read to, because they don't have meanings that are that mean anything outside of a context. You need a context. So we'll get topical, because I think we have to. Let me do one more of these, and then we'll just cut shuffle. And then I will, I might spread them across and pull, or I might just split the deck and pull. Do you see the breeze coming in? I'm getting bathed in wonderful smells. Okay, so our question. Our question is about American democracy. I'm asking this question in March of 2025. And at 2 something tomorrow morning on March 15th is when Mercury goes retro. It is stationary today. I think this might be kicked off with a full moon eclipse. I think this might be one of the most interesting and just wicked retrogrades ever. Depending on who you are. So I'm going to ask about American democracy at this moment, where the courts are standing up. So I'm going to ask, where will we find ourselves in 1 month's time? Where will we find ourselves in 1 month's time as far as American democracy? So where will the American people, and I mean the world greater world at large, where will we be? And yet tomorrow's the Ides of March too. All right. Oh, and I'm telling it, I'm doing, how far have we gotten so far? 26 minutes. I'm going to start with 1 line of 5. Let's see how they fan. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. So this is what we do. Let me see if I can fan that a little bit better. Make a little bit more room for myself. Okay. That's a little better. It's kind of hard because the surface is slippery. When you fan them across, like, a reading cloth or fabric or something, they do much better. But it doesn't really matter. All right. Okay, there's our first row. And we'll see if we need to go forward. And, sometimes, it is beneficial to really decide for good and for all what kind of reading you're doing. For instance, if I tell my deck 5 cards, maybe it'll give me the whole story in those 5 cards. But if I've told my deck 2 lines, then it'll say, maybe it's the setup and then the outcome. So if I don't do that second line, I'm not really going to get, all right. I don't remember which way, whether I put, anyway, here we go. So we have the fire in the middle. We've got the hearth or the fire, flame in the middle. That was a symbol for comfort. All right, so we have ring, rose, fire, birds, garden. So ring is like a commitment, bond. All right, let's just read each individual card, then we'll pull them together. So card 25 is ring, meaning bond, an endless loop. So it can mean things that loop around. An endless loop, the ring is an everlasting sign of a commitment. To the right of the significator, this is a successful relationship. But if to the left, it means difficulty. So the significator would be the man or woman card. Means difficulty, broken promises, or divorce are likely. Surrounded by positive cards, there could be some relief. However, with negative cards, unhealthy addiction may follow. This person is dedicated and possibly in a committed relationship. At worst, they may have bad habits or obsessive compulsive disorder. Physically, they have very round features. Very interesting. And with that Rana George book that I was talking about, she takes every card and she'll say, if you're talking about objects, they would fall under this card. If you're talking about people, this is the appearance of people that would be signified by this card. Work, career, health. She has a category for each thing. It's wonderful. Relationship, bond, promise, marriage, addiction, endless. So this is a bond and a commitment. And then 40, allure. The rose is irresistible. It is an emblem of romance, attraction, and beauty. If the rose appears during a romantic encounter, seduction will likely occur. It is beauty and thus the arts. If next to the letter it refers to poetry, it means music when with the birds card. This card describes very romantic or artistic people. They can easily entice and attract others. Their work is that of bewitching beauty. Physically, they're rather glamorous or a bit avant-garde. Keywords are charm, art, romance, seduction, captivate, tender. So this would be a very attractive bond, a seductive bond, a romantic bond, charming art, a commitment to art, artistic, and the ring going round and round could mean practicing your art over and over again. All right, let's keep going. Flame is comfort. This is the hearth of the home, a place where everybody gathers. It is an intimate space, one that is safe, warm, and bright. It's where our food gets cooked. This could be a campfire with the trees, a barbecue with a pig, or watching TV with the moon. This card lessens the negativity of surrounding cards. Okay. This describes a warm and caring person, one who has a close circle of friends or family. With the clover of flowers, this person is rather flamboyant and perhaps has red hair. Now, I don't think he told us. Okay, card meanings. Let's see. In understanding these qualities intimately, how they mix and relate, each card is given a title. Think of it as its core. All nuances and meanings are derived from this single word. Following it, a few sentences give a general overview describing the card's symbolism. Next are some characteristics on how this card may represent or describe a person. The querent is the person for whom or about whom the reading is being done. The term significator refers to the card that represents that person. Lastly, there's a short list of 5 or 6 keywords given in order of importance. Cool. Okay. So, warmth, closeness, light, cooking, fire, bright. Let's just do that relationship, charm, warmth. A warm and charming relationship and comfort. And this talks about communication, speaking with people. You know what this is, you guys? Now, I asked where we'd be in a month. And then this is people gathering in a public space to talk about things. So, it's funny because tonight we're having some friends over for a fire, and it can talk about a bond of friendship and art and beauty, and we get together around a fire to talk and have community. That's a wonderful thing. Looked at politically. All right, we didn't do this. We didn't do the last two. Hold on. Getting ahead of myself. Birds, it says a flutter. Flapping about. Nearby, they cause anxiety, and from afar, they pose a sudden trip. A little bird divulges many secrets, and two create gossip. Things spread by word of mouth. Conversations surround this card. Describing a person, they could have a bird-like face, beady eyes, and a long nose. Personally, they could be fidgety and nervous. I'm sitting here, my foot's going, ADHD. It may be two people, possibly elderly. Unease. Wow, the most important is unease. Sorrow, trips, communication, gossip, couples. That is really counter to what I know about the birds card, that it is spoken communication at its heart. So I'm going to go with that. And then let's look at 20. The park, communal. Pictured is Art Hill in Forest Park, the crown jewel of St. Louis. Art Hill is a place where the city gathers for movies, fireworks, or balloon races. At the top is the art museum, open to all, free of charge. This is a card of the people and the public. Describing a person, they're very sociable and self-aware. They're put together like a well-manicured garden, ready to be seen by many people. Keywords are gathering, public, people, outdoors, garden, and polished. So what I'm looking at here, there's a bond that we have a commitment around. Let's look at Rose again. Allure, seduction, the arts, poetry, music. So I'm going to look at this as beauty in general, because I'm thinking about just a card in this deck that means just plain beauty, and I don't know if I can think of one. The bouquet is delight and prettiness. So I think if we could call that pretty, I think we can call the rose beauty. So it's like a commitment to each other, to beauty, to love, to comfort. So comfort, I'm thinking, can talk about gathering. And this certainly talks about gathering. Gatherings to communicate, to discuss, gatherings around a hearth, around a fire, and a commitment to each other through this. Okay. I think I'm going to take another line of 5. This time I'm going to split and pull, and I might go just sort of off of what I know, but we'll see, because I think we're getting somewhere. All right. So first, okay. Okay, so moon is very different from moon in the tarot as well. And this is mice. All right, so now we're getting a more complete picture, because cross talks about a burden. This is what we have to bear. This is the, it's kind of like your karma, the things that you're responsible for. Burden represents something too heavy to carry. Heavy, hardship, onus. The onus is on us. Stop. Religion. Okay. The price we pay for our actions. So we do have a price to pay. Wait, let me do the line and then we'll look at the middle. This is honor, medals, honor, recognition. Yes, recognition, award, success, initiation, club, order. Recognition, honor and recognition, being worthy. This is Bacchus, drinking, party, merriment, levity, amusement, plump. And then moon reflection, recognition, honor, career. So we've got honors and honors, impression, screens, fame, and then troubles. The mice talk about troubles, something that's eroding, loss, theft, pests, loss, disease, something that's eroding. So we have a burden, the burden of a reputation, the burden of responsibility, the burden of consequences, the burden of consequences, and it can be consequences of our or someone's partying, someone's being too, happy, joy for the responsibility they carry, maybe. This is fame and honor as well, your reputation and recognition, that things that reflect back on you. And I do see him looking this way, but the recognition, or, earning a reputation for being a party person, and that reputation and recognition eats away at your reputation and honor. Let's look at the comfort of escape, comfort of going out and drinking and just getting crazy and forgetting about everything, forgetting about responsibilities. The four corners, commitment and gatherings. When does a commitment become a burden? Allure and honors, achievement, conversations about what's reflecting back, gatherings that eat away, getting together, talking about things, the recognition of things, the recognition of, and look at the nights. This could be addiction here, something that goes round and round, a commitment to drugs and alcohol and escapism. This could certainly be talking about somebody has a problem. And gathering in groups. Then we've got this burden of comfort, warmth, something eroding away. Okay. Maybe you have to take responsibility for what the comfort, the safety that has been eroded. This is allure and, what was this again? Reflection? Yes. Recognition, reflection, allure. So this talks about that reputation, that shining reputation of, kind of the false persona, something that is alluring and that pulls people in. This is talking about honors being talked about. Yes, comfort diminishing. Big party time. Okay, I think you might be getting an idea of this, that going to be a lot of talk. So maybe as of next month, there's going to be a lot of talking about things that have gone on, about people's addictions, about what's happened when they've gathered in groups. There's going to be a burden of somebody's reputation, something reflecting back on them that starts to eat away at their security, even our security. So I'd say we still have some things going forward from where we are now, but there's certainly some things that are going to be eaten away at. There's a lot of gathering, people getting together and talking about stuff. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. What do you think? The deck is very cool. I do like it. I mean, it's Lenormand. There's the only thing that ruins a Lenormand deck for me is pictures that you can't read, and I do Tarot Tribe Beyond Worlds. Is that the name of the channel? I think she did a video on that too, of good and bad decks, and she pulled out some that are bad, and she's like, I don't ever pull this deck out because there's so much it's so busy going on in the card that the symbol becomes hard to read and it's distracting. So really, Lenormand is about internalizing. You have to internalize the meanings of these cards. You can't just like wing it like you can with a deck with big storytelling illustrations where you could just lay it down and tell the story. Like it said, that's kind of like a graphic novel. Pictures, pictures, pictures. Oh, look, this guy's looking this way, and these look like they're, it's knowing the meaning of that symbol and being able to blend. I have another deck which you can look up the video for. It's a Ukrainian deck. It's a Lenormand. Come in a little snappy box. Let me see what it's called. Because it's called Lenormand Solitaire. And one of the things that's really cool about this deck, so you can look up the video on it, Lenormand Solitaire, is that in the book, it combines, like you have the card meaning, and then after that, it combines that card with every other card. So you'll see, like you look up under cross, and it'll say cross plus dog. But then if you look up dog, it'll say dog plus cross. And so you can see the difference depending on which side they're on. And it's brilliant. There's so many resources. Ultimately, find one that clicks for you and stick with it. But let me know what you think of this deck. I'm glad to put it on the shelf now and actually get it into circulation so I can reach out and use it. Anyway, I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. And I hope that with spring coming, you are taking time every day to pump up your joy, to seed your joy, for the future, to take good care of yourself and your body and everything else. All right, great to hang out with you. I'll see you next time. Till then, this is Luna. Blessed be.